Hey everybody, it's JL Oak here today, and I got a good review for you. 2005 Saturn Vue. This is the 2.2 liter Ecotec front wheel drive, 5-speed manual transmission, by far my favorite. I got this vehicle from BuyRite Auto. It's located at 984 Sackville Drive, down in Lower Sackville, Nova Scotia. So you want some nice cars, check them out. They got some great picks. See this logo right here? This is the logo of GM Perfection. A 2.2 Ecotec engine producing 173 horsepower and 182 pound-feet of torque. A trailer towing package, auto mirrors, locks, intermediate wiper blades, and automatic headlamps. It has both reclining and folding 70/30 rear split seats, CD player with 10 different stations preset, opening and closing sunroof, side A-pillar speakers, a rear table out of the passenger seat, cruise control, 220,858 kilometers. That's not too bad for something in Nova Scotia. And a 5-speed manual transmission. So now let's move on to the test drive part of this test drive review. So without further ado, let's get started. Once I get off this rocky road here, should be good to get going. I already love this Vue. I know some people will diss Saturn and they're not around anymore, so it gives you reason to think why. But fun fact, Saturn was not discontinued because they were not a good brand, a good car brand. It was actually because GM just had too many car brands out, like Hummer and Pontiac and Saturn and Oldsmobile and all those other ones. They all had them out all at the same time. They weren't making any profit. So what GM did is they discontinued Saturn, Hummer, Oldsmobile, all those other brands, so they could start making some type of profit off of it. So if you're wondering why don't they make the Saturn, it must be a horrible vehicle, that is 110% not true. It's just because GM had too many cars out at once, and they were like, you know what, we got to stop making some of these, and unfortunately the Saturn brand was done. I personally could have, I wish they got rid of the Buick instead of the Saturn, because I love these things a lot. So, you know, I'm a domestic guy, 110%. But this is a great vehicle. I already love driving it because the transmission, it's manual. You can't get any better than manual. They give you better fuel economy. They give you a more fun to drive factor, and you're in more control of your vehicle. So you don't have to worry about a computer shifting your gears for you. I'm not a big fan of that at all. And also, this dash, I love it. Don't know who did it, but I love it. All blue and this paint splatter there, I absolutely love it. Most of you are probably thinking, well, it's a 2.2 Ecotec in an SUV that weighs like 4,000 pounds, even though it's made out of plastic. How can you manage? Well, I've driven a lot slower vehicles in this, and I gotta admit, it's pretty quick. And it's probably just because the manual transmission helps pull it along without any slippage from a torque converter. But I gotta admit, I really do like the performance and the responsive handling from this vehicle as I'm driving down this windy road as well. Now, for something that's a 2005 and 2016, it's in fairly well condition. Then again, as I said, the panels are mostly made out of polyurethane plastic, so they're not ever going to rust. But even with that idea in mind, underneath, it's in great condition. And I think plastic down there, that's all metal. So whoever had this before must have undercoated it a lot. And the asking price, $1,500, that's not too bad for something of this stature, you know what I'm saying? It also has this cool auto-dimming mirror, which I left out in the features section. But I do like the fact that when you're driving and someone's lights shine right in the mirror, whether it's daytime or not, it automatically dims for you. I think that is a fairly neat feature, and I'd love to see what it's like at nighttime. But all in all, this vehicle is doing great. It's going around turns like it's nobody's business. For an SUV, it's fairly quick. I was also informed that the front struts are brand new in this. So if you're considering buying it, the front struts are brand new right there. That's $1,200 that you don't have to spend on front struts. Let alone, there's not a lot wrong with it. But its safety inspection is coming up in a couple months. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to see just how responsive this vehicle is when it comes to acceleration.
Wow!
I gotta admit, it's pretty fast. There's a lot of V6 SUVs I've driven out there that aren't really a comparison to this one. That's not too bad. I got up to 70 kilometers an hour, no problem. And I could have kept going, but that's not like me. And this radio, this sound system is great. You won't be able to hear it as well with the camera mic, but if you hear it with your own ears, you'll love it. Let's give this a listen. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Unfortunately, that wasn't a very good song to hear the sound for, but it's alright. And this air conditioning is great. I have it shut off right now because, you know, it's a cold, muggy day, and it is March, so it's a little chilly outside. And with the heat on, even if it's not cranked all the way, I'm boiling in here. Even without this big thick leather coat on, I'm still boiling. So it has a great air conditioning system, whether it, I guess, keeps you cool in the wintertime, in the summertime, sorry, or it keeps you warm in the wintertime. It's great. I also like the visibility with these. Once I got in, I was like, man, you can see a lot of stuff. Like, you can just look around and you can see everything because the A-pillars aren't that wide, and you got the side pillars there, they're not too big either, and you look in the rearview mirror, you can see like all the road behind you. So you're not really, you know, stressing your neck out or trying to find spots to look at, you know. It's all right there. The visibility is great with this. So you know, lane changes are a breeze with this. So it's not too bad. Braking is excellent, man. Excellent. And something else I also love about this Saturn is that the shifting is flawless. The clutch has an amazing feel to it. Feels like it has a ton of clutch life left in it. And the shifting is so smooth. You can tell whoever been driving this before must have really babied it, because the synchronizers allow for smooth, effortless shifting. Barely have to put any, force to it, and just clicks right into gear, just like that, nice and easy. Most manual cars takes a little bit to get used to, but this one, no problem. I'm driving this around like it's nobody's business. It has a great manual transmission. There's nothing wrong with it. So its responsiveness from the engine is phenomenal for a 2.2 Ecotec to carry around such a big and heavy vehicle. Its suspension, it handles the bumps all right. There's some room to be desired up in the back. I don't know if maybe because there's something out back worn out, or if it's just the way that the independent suspension was designed by GM. But the steering is great. That's phenomenal. I love it. I don't hear no popping or banging, so it's showing me that everything is nice and sound in the steering and suspension wise. A little bumpy, but then again, I'm used to driving around in a Jeep, so I got that solid axle suspension, so the fully independent suspension is something different for me. But all in all, it's a great family vehicle. I would recommend this to anybody who, as a grocery getter, somebody who's traveling on a highway. It gets great gas mileage. If you're wondering what the gas mileage would be, I think it's 23 mpg city and 26 highway. I think that's what it is, mounted to the manual transmission. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's a very fuel efficient too, so you don't have to worry about, sucking down gas or whatever if you're going on long road trips on the highway. Now the engine light is on. I just ran a code reader through it, and it was just an O2 sensor that's a little out of whack, but that's nothing. As you car guys or girls out there know, O2 sensors, they go like crazy. It's nothing to worry about when you have a bad O2 sensor, and they're fairly inexpensive to replace as well, so it's nothing to worry about. Something else I really do like about this Vue in particular is how well it cruises along. I don't have to really worry about shifting through the gears because it has a 4.41 gear ratio to final drive, so it's very smooth. I can just keep it in fifth and cruise up this little incline, no problem. It's not giving me any hassle, and it drives smooth. A little bit of road noise. Then again, it is a 2005, and back then, not even too far ago, comfort wasn't as big as a deal. If you look at advertisements nowadays for vehicles, usually it's now all about comfort, and back in 2000, 2005 type thing, it was more about the vehicle's performance. So it's a very content drive. If you don't mind a little bit of road noise, then it's perfect for you. I give GM a big plus on their creativity when designing these Vues. They're stylish. I like the headlights as they run across, just like the Ions. I also like the room. It has a lot of room in it. Like, you can pack a bunch of stuff back there. It even has a little grocery pouch, or a little fenced off type area that you can fold up, and you can put groceries in there and all that other good stuff, and it won't be sliding around the back or whatever, so you don't have to worry about it. Something else I also really like about these Saturns is that the back seats, they can be removed so easy and so quick. So if you do need to put something in the back and you need to take those back seats out, no problem. You take them out, you don't have to worry about it. So they're great for camping as well. If you're a guy who wants to go camping, maybe you want the all-wheel drive model, but if you want the manual, go ahead, get yourself the manual. It's a great vehicle, and I gotta admit, I've been loving every second of this as I've been driving. So I really appreciate, you know, BuyRite Auto for letting me take this out on this test drive. It's a great experience, and it's just something that I really do like to drive around in. This suits my personality, and like I said, this dash is amazing. So kudos, if you're watching this, to whoever painted this dash up. The exhaust note is great on this. It doesn't look like a factory exhaust system, but man, I like it. Sounds pretty cool. So when you're, you know, accelerating, you got a bit of a more throatier 4-cylinder sound than just the whiny old Prius 4-cylinder sound, you know? So I do like it. Brakes are phenomenal. I can put these brakes on hard and I don't hear no weird noises. There's no screeching or grinding. It's perfect. I love it. So there you have it. The verdict is, this is a great vehicle. I can't express how much I love driving this. It's fun to drive, it's fuel efficient, it has a lot of cool features, especially for a base model, and cargo is great. You can hold a lot of stuff back there. So I like to thank the guys at BuyRite Auto for letting me take this out on their test drive. And until next time, Jay out. Peace.